Game number 5, we have the Bears at the Cougars. The Bears won this game 14-0.
And we also have interviews with the Bears head coach, Josh Bradley, and the Cougars co-owner, John Chappelle. Let's take a look at that.
Not as good as you. You had a great win. First game of the season for the PCFL. A 14-0 win over the Cougars. Very convincing win for the first game of the season. Offensively, what was your game plan going into that game?
Offensively, we tried to mix it up. Cougars got a good run defense. Held our running in check, definitely. Passing, defensive backs are a little on the shorter side. Come up and tackle really good, but we were able to open up the pass a little bit on them.
Now, your playmaker for the offensive side, Jason Olsen, your quarterback, really stepped up in the second half. In the first half, you guys were tied at 0-0. No one put any points on the board. And then Jason Olsen sparked the offense, running a 2-yard run in the third quarter, and then finding Davian Tate in the fourth quarter on a 31-yard pass. I mean, for the first week of the season, that must make you real happy to see your offensive clicking for the second part of the game, right?
Oh, definitely. We were real happy to score the first ones. We knew the game was going to be close, and if we scored that one, we had a good chance. And after we scored the second one, we pretty much knew we had the game. Defense played really good the whole game. So, but yeah, definitely was a huge win because Cougars defending checks beat us twice last year. They got a good football team. So.
Oh, nice. So a little payback this year.
A little bit. Juan called us out at the meeting, said he wanted to play us first game. We had to go up there again, which was fine by us, and it worked out in our favor.
Excellent. So for your second game of the season this Saturday, April 3rd, this is your first division game in the East. This will be the Raiders' second. But they also had a real great win last week, a 21-19 win against the Rams. Very slim win, but still a win. They had some very good defensive players in Lewis Gaskin and Gerald Fryman. Both of them combined for over 11 sacks. Very good pass rushing defense. How are you looking to counter that?
I just watched the film on SemiProTV, and their defense, they rushed hard on the outside. So hopefully our line can get some blocks on them. But we have a really good offensive line, really big and it's pretty fast. So I think we can do a better job of blocking them than the Rams did. So we should be okay. If they get too aggressive, we'll hit them with some screens, hit some stuff over the middle, and use it to our advantage.
So your deciding factor in this game, you're depending on your offensive line to step up and make some plays.
Definitely. I think our quarterback receivers should be able to pass on them as well.
First game of the PCFL, already in the books. A very slim loss to the Bears last week, 0-14. What adjustments has your team made in practice this week on the offensive side of the ball to get points on the board?
Well, definitely we've got to sheer up our nose. Not so sure if it was, our center just not being able to play with them or the nose guard was just that good. As far as that, we moved the ball pretty well. We had trouble in the red zone. We drove down the field at about a 70-plus yard drive, got inside the 10, threw a pick. A couple series later, drove down to inside the 1, got stopped. Got inside the 2. We were in the red zone 4 times that game, came away with no points. So basically our red zone offense definitely needs a lot of work.
So
our offensive line, as far as being big and able to move, I just think they kind of got a little confused as far as blocking schemes with the blitzes that the Bears were bringing.
Now, as far as everything going into this week's practice, are you saying you're working on more of your chemistry as far as the offensive side?
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, your game going up against the Longhorns, big game for the Cougars this week. What's your game plan going into the going up against the Shasta Longhorns?
Well, the bad thing about that is we really don't know what the Shasta Longhorns do. We haven't seen any tape on them. Heard they're pretty big and physical. Good thing about that is we're big and physical. We love playing teams that are physical. As far as our game plan, I would say we're going to do what we always do. We're going to run behind our horses. Going to push the ball upfield and make them stop us.
Now, are you saying the Cougars are more of a run-oriented offense? Get downfield, run the rock?
Yes, we have been more of a run past years. This year we've got some really good additions as far as receivers. We've got Daniel Evans and Ray Mays. Daniel Evans was one of the top 5 receivers in JC last year. Ray Mays is just out of high school, played high school in Concord somewhere. And they really step up those outside spots as far as our receiving game goes.
So you're looking for this year to be a big year for the Cougars' passing offense?
Yeah, definitely. We've always had a good run game, but we've never had the opportunity to throw the ball like we wanted to, just because we haven't had the receivers. We've always had the quarterback, just never had the type the open up the field receivers that you need on the field. So this year we definitely have.
Excellent. Now, as far as the offensive side, you guys getting the offensive side dialed in, you only held the Bears to 14 points, a very good defensive outing. How do you continue this success next week against the Longhorns?
Our defense has always been a really good defense. Last season, our defense, I think we had 6 shutouts. Basically, it's the same defense. There's a couple new additions, obviously. As far as the 14 points we gave up to the Bears, they were a good place. They got us where we were blitzing, or they got us on a play that we weren't ready for. So if we stop that, I'm thinking our defense is going to be back on top, and it's going to be real hard to beat us.
Excellent. So give all our listeners a quick look at where your game's going to be next week. Where's your stadium at?
Our game is at Yuba City High School, home of the Hawkers. It is off of Franklin Road in Yuba City, right in the center. You can't miss it. It's a really nice field, big stadium. I hope everybody who's listening can make it and come out and watch us play.
Excellent. All right. That was John Chappelle, co-owner of the Twin City Cougars. Thank you again, sir, for your time.
Thanks.
All right, and now the Offensive Player of the Week for week number 1 of the PCFL goes to Longhorns wide receiver Casey Clapsaddle. Nick, how'd he do?
Clapsaddle had a great, tremendous game the first week of the PCFL, solidifying him as Offensive Player of the Week. 6 catches, 103 yards, and 2 touchdowns, including the game winner.
Wow. All right, let's take a look at his interview.
All right, with us on the phone we have Shasta Longhorns wideout Casey Clapsaddle, the Offensive Player of the Week for the PCFL Week 1 season. How you doing, Casey?
Good, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. A big game for you the first week against the Renegades. 6 catches, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the game-winning catch. Go into what your offensive strategy going up to it, touchdown catch.
I think we were inside 2 minutes, so we just tried to really work the ball down, make our catches, get out of bounds, and try to get in the end zone.
Now, as far as you being the offensive threat for the Longhorns first week of the season, who compliments you on the offensive side of the ball?
I think everyone does. Everyone brings another dimension. We have a good running game that'll take some pressure off, and our quarterback, Ben Weaver, does a good job of quarterback moving around the pocket, finding open receivers, and other receivers work well and get open too, so it takes a lot of pressure off.
Excellent. Now, you being the offensive threat, what have you noticed about the Longhorns' defense first game of the season?
They did good. They shut it down, except for a couple of busted plays. The Renegades pretty good, so they're pretty stout against the run and the pass.
Excellent. Now, you're a very accomplished high school athlete. You went to Arizona State. What brought you to the Longhorns?
From Reading. So I went to Enterprise High School and then Shasta College before, so I was just here, and I had some friends that were doing it and wanted me to come out and play, so I said I figured I'd come out and play a little.
Oh, nice, and not a bad idea after all. First week of
Yeah.
the season, and you're already the offensive MVP for the first week.